Hi, this is Bill Watkins. I want you to go with me back to the book of Job for a moment as Job makes his final appeal to his friends and also to God. His friends have been accusing him. They said, I don't know, maybe you've sinned with a woman, maybe you've sinned in your business dealings. You've done something, and that's the reason all these things are happening. And this is Job's final defense. He says in Job 31, I've made a covenant with my eyes. How then could I gaze at a virgin? What would be my portion from God above and my heritage from the Almighty on high? Isn't calamity for the unrighteous and disaster for the workers of iniquity? Doesn't he see my ways and number all my steps? If I've walked with falsehood and my foot has hastened to deceit, let me be weighed in a just balance and let God know my integrity. If my step has turned aside from the way and my heart gone after my eyes, and if any spot has stuck to my hands, then let me sow and let another eat, and let what grows from me be rooted out. If my heart has been enticed toward a woman, and I've lain in wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind for another, and let others bow down on her. For what would be a heinous crime? That would be a heinous crime. That would be iniquity to be punished for the judgment. That would be a fire that consumes as far as Abaddon and would burn to the root of all my increase. If I have rejected the cause of my manservant or my maidservant when they brought a complaint against me, what then shall I do when God rises up, when he makes inquiry? What shall I answer him? Here's the point that Job is making as you're reading through all of this. He's saying, look, I made a deal with my eyes not to stare at a woman. In other words, I'm not going to lust after another woman or go after another woman. And he says it in a really interesting way. I've made a covenant with my eyes. By the way, that's a great idea. Make a covenant with your eyes, guys, and stay away from pornography and stay away from all the stuff that makes you lust. Job said, I decided I wasn't going to look at that. You need to make that same decision. He said, because if I do that, then when God punishes me, I deserve it. He's saying, let God punish me if that's what I've done. If I've mistreated my servants, let God punish me. If I've lied to people, let God punish me. He said, I understand that God can do what he wants. He says, but that's not what I've done. And yet still I'm going through all that. If I've made gold my trust or called fine gold my confidence, if I've rejoiced because my wealth was abundant or because my hand found much, if I've looked at the sun when it shone or the moon moving in splendor and my heart has been secretly enticed and my mouth has kissed my hand, in other words, if I've worshiped the moon or the stars instead of God, this also would be iniquity to be punished by the judges, for I would have been false to God above. If I've rejoiced in the ruin of him who hated me or exulted when evil overtook him, I have not let my mouth sin by asking for his life with a curse. If the men of my tent have not said, who is there that has not been filled with his meat? The sojourner has not lodged in the street. I've opened my doors to the traveler. If I've concealed my transgressions as others do by hiding iniquity in my heart, because I stood in great fear of the multitude and contempt of families terrified me, so that I kept silence and didn't go out of doors. Oh, that I had one to hear me. Here's my signature. Let the Almighty answer me. Oh, that I had the indictment written by my adversary. I would carry it on my shoulder. I would bind it like a crown. I would give an account of all my steps like a prince. I would approach him. If my land is cry out against me and its furrows have wept together, if I've eaten its yield without payment and made its owners breathe their last, let thorns grow instead of wheat and foul weeds instead of barley. In other words, God punish me. And I want you to look at all the things that he said. He didn't lie. He didn't ignore the stranger and the person in need. He took care of those who worked for him. He didn't get enticed by gold. He didn't worship other gods. He took care of his environment and the land that had been given to him, and he made sure that he paid the landowners. If he farmed on their field, he made sure that he paid the landowners when he did that. He's defining what a righteous life really is. He's defining what it's really meant to be. But he said, if that's not the way I lived, I deserve everything I'm getting. That's a pretty powerful statement. Did Job sin? Well, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But Job walked in integrity all his life. Still bad things happened to him. But God God had his own reasons for allowing it to happen. Job's never going to find out why in this life, but he's going to find out something more important. Let's look at that together. Thanks for watching.